Hey guys, so today I'm going to be telling you how to grow out your hair, and this is on the basis of how I grew out my hair. Like, there was a time where I got my hair cut like about up to here-ish, and it was okay for a while. I actually really liked it, but then after a while I was just like, I just really wanted to grow out my hair again, and I really missed my long hair. So I spent a long time researching on how to grow your hair and everything and all this stuff, and yeah, and today I'm basically just going to share what I just learned and stuff. And this was actually, I think this was just before I started YouTube and stuff like that. I really wanted to grow out my hair. Okay, so all the stuff I'm saying, I'm basically saying this from the top of my head, so I'm very sorry if I miss anything out that is very important. If I do, I'll like insert it on the sides or whatever. I am actually going to be talking about this very briefly, just because I don't want this video to be longer than it really has to be. If you want like a follow-up version where I talk about this in a lot more detail, or if you want just like a part 2 or whatever, then please let me know, then I'll happily do that for you. But yeah, I'm going to be splitting this into 3 categories, and those 3... Oh my god, that was my computer, by the way. Anyways, I'm going to be splitting this into 3 categories, and those are your genetics, the condition of your hair, and your diet. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is your genetics, and I'm just going to be saying this very quickly. Basically, just take it into consideration, because genetics is something that you can't really help or anything. It's just like, you already have it. So I'm just basically saying, if your mom and dad's hair grows really slow, like the slower than the normal length in which hair does grow a month, which is ½ an inch, if your mom and dad's hair grows slower than that, then most likely your hair would grow slower than the natural rate which hair does grow. So yeah, I just basically just want to say, take that into consideration and stuff. So yeah, as an example, so as for me, my mom's hair grows extremely fast. Like, it grows super fast. There are times where I do not cut my hair for the longest time. Like, in fact, up until a week ago, I did not cut my hair for, I'd say, almost a year, or I don't really know if it's been over a year, or actually it hasn't been over a year, so I'm just gonna say almost a year. And my mum would have multiple haircuts. She would have haircut after haircut after haircut, and I don't know how, but her hair always ends up the same length as my hair every single time, and I just don't get it. Her hair grows really fast, and I don't really take after I can't really talk today, I'm very sorry. And I don't really take after that. I actually take after more of my dad's side, and I actually have thinner hair, and my hair doesn't grow as fast as my mom's hair, but it grows fairly okay and everything, so that's fine and stuff. But I just basically want to say, take your genetics into consideration when you are growing out your hair, because it's something you can't change. Okay, so the second thing we're going to talk about is the condition of your hair. I feel like this is the most important thing in growing out your hair, because this is something you have like the most input on and everything like that. And in my opinion, I feel like if you have really healthy hair and everything, I feel like your hair does grow a lot faster. I don't know if this is proven or anything, but in my situation, like, as I say, this video is on the basis of how I grew my hair. In my situation, at the time where I had my hair about this length, I had a lot of heat in my hair. I would use like heat pretty a lot, I'd say. At that time, my hair barely ever grew, and I was just like, why is my hair not growing? And I was just like, what is happening? And I kind of realized, why am I adding heat on my hair for? I mean, do I really need heat? I mean, my hair is naturally straight. Like, at the moment right now, I don't have any heat on it or anything apart from my fringe, and I was thinking, like, do I really need heat? I stopped using heat for like the longest time, and my hair grew so fast after I stopped using heat. So I feel like just to keep your hair healthy and everything, it really does help. And I just wanted to say, if you already have like really damaged hair, say if you have like a ton of split ends and you really want to grow out your hair, I'd say get a trim first and then start fresh with the whole hair growing process and everything. Because if you think about it, if you have a split end, so say if this is your one of your hairs and you have like a split end, your split end is just gonna keep on going and going until it reaches to like the root of your hair if you don't cut it. The only way to get rid of a split end is to cut your hair, and well, cut the split end off really. Yeah, so I recommend just to cut your hair and start fresh and start with healthier hair. And also, if you have a ton of split ends, a lot of the time your hair will look really fragile, and it will look really fine and really thin and really easy to break, since it is a split end, and who wants that? So yeah, ways to keep your hair healthy, I'd have to say the most important thing for me, well, one of the most important thing is to keep your hair away from heat, because heat really damages your hair, and I don't really use heat that regular now, and my hair is pretty healthy, I have to say. Like, I haven't used heat in my hair at all today, apart from my fringe, like I said before. If you really want to like curl your hair or straighten your hair or whatever, try and find an alternative for that, because most likely there is. Like, if you want curly hair, which is what I want a lot of the times, I would do it the heatless way. Like, if I'm going to curl my hair, most likely I will curl it the heatless way, and there are tons of videos on that on YouTube, including mine, by the way. But yeah, so there's heatless curls, so you can have like different like tight curls, you can have wavy curls, well, wavy waves, if that makes sense. You can have like really big loose curls and stuff, and you could do that the heatless way. You don't have to use it with a curling iron or whatever you want to use. And if you want to straighten your hair heatlessly, I'm not really sure if that actually works or stuff, but I actually have seen a video of someone straightening their hair heatlessly, so if you really want to see it, then search that up on YouTube. I'm sure you'll be able to find it, and maybe it will work, I don't really know. But yeah, and if you really have to use heat, use a heat protectant spray, because that really helps your hair be protected from the heat. My favorite one is by Tresemme, and I'm gonna get it right now. Okay, so my favorite heat protectant spray is the Tresemme Heat Defense, and this is with a UV filter as well, so that is really good, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, use a heat protectant spray, and I use this all the time. Even if I'm just using it for my fringe, I would spray my fringe with a heat protectant spray. So yeah, it really does help, and I really feel like it does. And if you're using a heat appliance, use it to the lowest temperature that you actually need. Like for me, I have really thin hair, so I don't really need a lot of heat. I always use the lowest heat setting it comes with and everything, so so it has like really less damage on my hair, and I don't really need a lot of heat because my hair is thin. So yeah, try to use as less heat as possible, so go down to like the lowest temperature that you actually need. Also, the sun damages your hair from heat as well, so there's another thing, especially if you live in hot countries. That's like, I don't really know how that is because I live in England, and when is it ever hot? Actually, it was pretty hot today, but it's always hot in my room. But anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, the sun actually radiates UV rays onto your hair and everything, and you can actually help protect your hair from that, especially if you're living in hot countries and stuff. But this actually comes with a UV filter, so this protects your hair from the sun as well as any heat appliance that you're going to be using. I actually used to own like this little bottle, which I bought because I was going to go on holiday, and it protects your hair from the UV rays from your sun. I don't know if I still have it. If I do, I'll insert a little picture or a little whatever. Help protect your hair from the sun, especially if you have black hair, because black absorbs like heat and stuff more. And yeah, so there's that for heat. And another thing to protect your hair is to avoid bleach, because bleach is really damaging to your hair. Like, in my opinion, I feel like that's the most damage you can do to your hair, is to add bleach to it. And especially if you already have thin hair, your hair is just gonna look even thinner and everything. And I've actually seen people like had bleached hair, and their hair just looks crazy thin and crazy like so fragile and everything, and I don't think that's a very good look. But I've also seen other people with like their hair just looks fine bleaching. But just in case you're not one of them lucky people and stuff like that, then I'd say avoid bleach, and I'd say avoid any hair dye at all, really, because hair dye is actually really damaging for your hair. Like, I really didn't know if I should dye my hair or anything, because I know it's really damaging for my hair. So I actually haven't really dyed my hair for almost a year and everything, because I just feel like it's just too damaging for my hair. And also, your hair is weakest when wet, so when your hair is wet, tend to just treat your hair a lot more better than you would when it's dry. Because if your hair is weakest when wet, I know a lot of people like to brush their hair after they wash it and stuff while it's still wet. That is actually really damaging for your hair, so try and leave it to dry then brush it. But if you really can't, like me, like I can't leave it to dry then brush it, use a wide tooth comb, or you can always use your fingers. The wide tooth comb that I use, I'm just gonna go right now. This is the wide tooth comb that I've been using, and I've been using it for so many years now, and this is the one by Babyliss. And yeah, I really recommend it. It really does lessen the damage to your hair if you want to brush it after you wash it. But yeah, I could go on and on and on just keeping your hair healthy and everything. So if you want a separate video on that, I'll be more than happy to do it. But yeah, I'm going on to the last thing now, and that is your diet. And yeah, so things in your diet that can help promote hair growth is protein promotes hair growth. So things like chicken, eggs, so anything with protein really promotes your hair growth, and drink plenty of water. As for supplements and stuff, I have never tried anything, so I don't really know if anything works and stuff. When I really wanted to grow out my hair and everything, I really looked up on like anything that I could do, and I heard that biotin works. I've never tried it, so I don't really know if it works, but I've heard about it. And I also heard that well, I heard in a rumor that it helps with hair all over, so if you want to be hairy, then totally up to you. But yeah, I've heard it works. I also heard that helps your hair be thicker and everything as well. But yeah, like I said, I haven't tried it, so I do not know. Yeah, so that is basically it for my whole how to grow your hair and everything. I didn't go into much detail on it, so if you want a part 2 or a follow-up version or something on the lines of that, then please let me know. But yeah, anyways, I hope this helped in some sort of way, and yeah, bye!